Oh yeah. That is giving everything it needs to give. We've made it to Philadelphia, and literally our first stop is to try a Philly cheesesteak. Literally, if there's one thing that I know about Philadelphia is that it has Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, 100%.
And we were doing some Googling online, and it looks like there are these two cheesesteak places that have been rivals forever, which is Pat's King of Steaks and then Geno's Philly cheesesteaks, I'm assuming. Yeah. And so we're gonna try both of those today.
Super excited for it. I've never had a Philly cheesesteak.
Me either.
Oh, he's jazzed.
Apollo's excited for the cheesesteak too. What do you think, Apollo?
What do you think, bud? Are you excited for the cheesesteak?
Are you gonna like it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cash only.
What's cash only?
Pat's King of Steaks.
Oh.
Okay, just kidding. First order of business is you need cash. Both of these places are cash only. But luckily there's an ATM like literally across the street, so easy. Well, bam. Hello, sir. Trying to steal all of your information for the YouTubes. And you guys remember the get rich dance that I did for you guys in New York?
I'm just gonna manifest the whole time I'm walking down Wall Street. For you and for me, lots of money, lots of money, lots of money, lots of money. Lots of money, lots of money, lots of money. Lots of money, lots of money. Lots of money, lots of money, lots of money.
It's actually based off stealing all of Daniel Mason's information and putting it up for you. You're welcome.
If anyone wants my credit card information, I'd gladly give it to you. If you want the last $7.36 in my account, it's yours.
To Geno's. So from exterior, I actually think Geno's is gonna be better.
Really?
Pat's looks.
I'm saying Pat's.
Hey, I say Pat's, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
well,
curious.
I guess we're gonna find out. House divided, maybe?
Can we just do a normal cheesesteak?
We have whiz, American, or provolone cheese.
American, please.
White American, onions.
Onions, yes.
All right, American whip, $12. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I am living for this accent. This is exactly everything I've ever seen on TV.
100%. And she was so nice.
Yeah, so friendly. Okay, well, one vote for Geno's already.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Some pens.
Wow, that was fast.
Aw, she gave us pens. Apollo is well ready for the cheesesteak. Do you want cheesesteak?
Are you ready for it? Mmm.
Oh, he's unwrapping
He's
it?
actually gonna unwrap it.
Go, kiddo. Unwrap, unwrap. Oh, that is juicy. Is it slapping?
Very good.
Good. Wow, this smells like life itself.
The other guy had the American.
Smells like soft white bread with some American cheese. Juicy, cheesy, oniony. Oh yeah. That is giving everything it needs to give.
Mushroom and onions.
Me, I can tell why this is famous. Holy cow. So it almost tastes like the onions are cooked in butter. I have no idea what this recipe is. But it is cheesy, it's creamy, it's juicy. It's just like everything that I wanted a Philly cheesesteak to be. Actually though.
Okay, so since we're reviewing two of the rival places, we need to come up with criteria. So let's talk about bread, consistency, the steak, the flavor, and like how it's cooked, and then the caramelization of the onions and cheesiness.
The bread is very fresh. I give it a 10. The steak. Let me individually piece out the steak. Steak's a little dry. Just like 5%. Steak gets a 6. Let's find a piece of onion here.
Everything.
The onions are where it slaps. Okay. Onions get an 8 with the cheese. Together, overall, the cheese is just American cheese, I guess. So like 8. Yeah, I would agree with the score. Like 8. Still amazing.
34 out of 40.
I'm giving the bread a 10. I'm agreeing with Annette and giving the steak a 6. I'm giving the onions a 10. And because I got whiz and American, mine is bussin' with the cheese. I'm giving the cheesiness a 10 on this one. Actually, I think the cheesiness is still an 8 because the steak is a little dry. So the extra cheesiness isn't really enough to make up for it. But the flavor of the cheese is there.
Ooh, already when you pick it up, the bread feels pillowy. Oh my god. Wow, yeah, that's how I feel. That bread, 10 out of 10. This is the perfect consistency and it just soaks up the flavor. The steak is really good, but I am gonna give it like a 7. I think it's a little better than what Annette and Daniel gave it credit for, but could be better. But the onions and the creaminess of the cheese is amazing. Those both get a 10. So I say 10, 7, 10, 10.
All right. On to the next order of business, Pat's King of Steaks. So Paulo's in a totally different outfit because he cropped all over the car, all up his back, in all of his outfits. Never even know, huh? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hello, how are you today? Good. Wanted to go ahead and order a cheesesteak with cheese and onions.
Thank you so much. You're so welcome.
No way! On this spot stood Sylvester Stallone filming Rocky in 1976. Okay.
All right. Oh.
The juice on that one already looks banging. This is the one. Okay. The steak looks less dry in this one. And this one came out super fast. The other one you had to wait a little bit for it. This one literally, like I told her, I want this, and she's like, okay, bam. This one is not sliced down the middle, which in my world actually makes my life easier to have it sliced. Half a point down. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. What bam. It's time, moment of truth.
You didn't get cheese on it?
American. It's somewhere in there.
All right, we have our categories. We have the bread, the steak, the onions, and the cheese. Annette, how do we feel? I know how Apollo feels. Apollo!
Here, Apollo. Apollo, how do you rank the bread? You liking it? 10 out of 10? Apollo will give it a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give the bread a 6. The steak on this one is definitely juicier and it is not dry at all. It just, to me, tastes a little beefy, which sounds stupid because obviously it's steak. I wish it would have been seasoned a little bit better. I think the flavor of Geno steak is better, but the cooking technique of Pat's is better. Aw, thank you.
Take a picture. You have to take a picture with Dad on.
Yeah!
There you go. Look at that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I love it, Bubs. Both places so far have been so sweet. Literally in the last place, they like gave us some pens. They were cooing at the baby. And here, then at Pat's, they gave us a little bib. Bubs. Okay, the onions. I actually don't like the onions. It doesn't, I don't think it was like cooked in butter. I don't know what the other ones are cooked in, but this just tastes like plain sauteed onions. And then the cheese, I wish I could rank it, but there's so little cheese in this one that I can't even say that it's like a cheesesteak. It just kind of feels like bread and steak, which is good if that's what you're into. It's just not what I was looking for. Overall score, like a 7. Less than Geno's. Whatever the highest score I can give it, that is 1 score less than Geno's.
I agree with Annette on the bread. This bread is not giving what it needs to give. The steak I prefer much better than Geno's. They like kind of chop theirs thin. It makes it a little juicier and flavier. More flavorful? Flavier? Flavier. The onions are neither here nor there. I'd probably give them like a 6. They're not bad, but they're not good. The ones at Geno's were like noticeably good onions. As cheesy and delicious as it looks, I actually got 2 types of cheese and you can still barely taste the cheese. They use way more steak on this sandwich than the other one and they don't really counteract that with like more cheese. That being said, overall, if I was gonna come back here, I would get this one.
All right, so I can see where both of them are coming from. The bread, not as good. I definitely give it a 7. The steak itself, man, is the flavor on it fantastic. The other was a little dry. This one is juicy. It's the right amount of proportion every time you take a bite from it. And like my mouth is watering thinking about it, so 10 out of 10. So the onions aren't necessarily anything like bam, wow, pack, kablam with flavor, but they complement, I think, the steak perfectly. So the onions for me get a 10. The cheese, there could have been more. It was good. It was very light flavoring. It definitely could have been more, so I'm definitely gonna go with Daniel on that and give it a 7.
This is where all of YouTube realizes that we can't do math.
Yeah, no. I'm like, wait, what is this? 22, 29, and then 34. Oh no! Okay. All right, so before we get into your score, what are your thoughts? Which one's better?
Okay, in my personal opinion, if I were to come back here, I'd be eating at Geno's. Even though the steak was a little bit dry, everything else was hitting exactly how I needed to hit. The bread was soft, the steak was flavorful, the onions were where it was at, it was cheesy, Pat's was really good. It's just not my kind of sandwich. It was a lot of steak, so like if that's something that you want, like not balanced flavor, but just meat, come to Pat's. That's my opinion, but I'm going to Geno's. So let's be clear here.
And so Annette's score definitely reflects that. She gave Geno's at 32 out of 40 and Pat's 24 out of 40. So I think she isn't lying to us. Is that how you feel? Okay, so Daniel, how you feel? Versus Pat's.
My final thoughts. Well, I definitely was left a little disappointed in some categories with Pat's steak. The overall flavor and composition of the sandwich, if I was going to come back here just on my own to get a sandwich, I would come to Pat's. The steak was a little too dry over at Geno's, and I felt like that kind of ruined the sandwich for me, honestly. This one had maybe a little bit more steak than I would have wanted to balance the flavors, but the flavor of the steak was good, so it made it work.
All right, and so Daniel's score for Geno's was 34, and his for Pat's was a 29. So
Wow.
you ranked Pat's lowers, but you'd come back here.
Individually, yeah, there were some issues individually, but overall, this is the
better.
sandwich that I preferred out of the two.
Both of you don't hate me. I think both of them had really strong points and really low points, and I wish.
Pause. You're the deal breaker, Daniel, so you have to really think about your decision right now. Okay? Because you go home with me at the end of the day.
He's swaying my answer. No. I mean, we need to be fair about it. And I wish that they would team up, and Geno's would take the bread, Pat's would take the steak and onions, and then you would get the cheese from Geno's, and then it'd be the perfect sandwich. But actually, overall, I ranked mine both at a 34. Overall, I would come back to Pat's when I'm wanting something like hearty and meat flavored, and I go to Geno's when I'm wanting something that resembles more of like the overall sandwich that you're looking for.
Whoa. That sounds like a big fat cop-out. If you were working in Philadelphia, you've got 10 minutes to go to lunch. No. They're both going out of business. You have to angel invest in one. Which one would you invest in?
Oh, that's not fair, because if I was living and working in Philly, I would just alternate based on the mood I'm in.
But one of them is going out of business.
One of them is going out of business.
You have to keep one. You are the sole person keeping this whole entire cheesesteak business open.
I can't make that decision. I'm telling you.
So then they both go out of business?
No.
Annette is fuming behind the camera right now.
I'm not fuming. I'm just trying to get a real answer for you guys. Or you know what? At the end of the day, since Daniel doesn't want to play fun, you guys can just come to both Geno's and Pat's. They're $12 each. They're cash only. There's an ATM right across the street. Come with friends because it is a lot of food. And you tell us, what is your favorite cheesesteak in Philadelphia?
And the best one, okay, I'll make a decision. The best one was whichever one you're feeling the day of.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore him for you. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Click the subscribe button down below so you see the best of our adventures around America and around the world. Thank you to our patrons for supporting our content and allowing us to continue to create awesome videos just like this one. And if you wanted free Amazon Music for 1 month, please use the link down in the description below and get it today. On that note, guys, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye! The fried slap, holy cow.
And Apollo got upset that he had a bib on, and then the second we took it off, he shoved it in his mouth. Yep, there we go.
Apollo just wants to clean the table first and then put it in his mouth. That's the style.